All right, we're recording.
Hey.
And a 1, 2, a test, a 1, 2, 3.
And a test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hell yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Power Thoughts.
Thought.
There's gonna be a lot of cable bumps actually.
It's alright. I think I'm good actually.
I can touch your cable.
Yeah, but I don't think they can hear it.
Well, okay, probably not. I just kicked it to test.
I'll try not to kick it. Okay, sorry. Purposeful cable bumps there.
Okay.
But yeah, hi, we're back. Episode 2. Yeah. Oh, so something I want to talk about is the drawing. If anyone is watching this after they watch the first one.
Yeah.
So the drawing.
If anyone comes
back, the drawing in our first podcast is like, it's a picture of a drawing that Maureen had sent me of like her the first idea for our art, I guess, for the thing.
Yeah, the cover art.
And so we were talking to a friend of ours who also draws, and he kind of came up with another concept that we were going to put on our next episode. And then we kind of had an idea of what if we did different art, like maybe a different artist, different style of drawing, but the similar concept for every single podcast, so it would be different.
Yeah.
So, which I think is a good idea.
I think so too, yeah.
So if you're listening to this and you're an artist and you want to be a part of our podcast at all and be like a little art in the front,
draw a little picture
let us know, hit us up, DM us. We can't pay you.
We can pay you in clout.
We'll shout you out on the podcast.
Yeah.
Our friend who's doing the next one, Alex Rusinko, we got you. Baby. Okay.
Oh, what it do? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right into it. For
right.
we don't have a brand deal. Imagine if we did.
Our second episode, we're like, this is sponsored by.
This is sponsored.
We won't shout anybody out though.
Yeah.
No, you
Hashtag no browns, no brands, no free clout. You know.
Mm-hmm. Just put it behind the mic because you're doing good. No brands.
What a delicious, nondescript energy beverage.
Mm-hmm.
So, you had something you wanted to talk about?
I had a few things. Well, okay, I have 2 things I want to talk about. So, one of my things is a callback to our last podcast again. And we were talking about alignment charts, right? And
did you do it?
You had said you were chaotic neutral, right? I took my test and it said I was chaotic neutral.
Makes sense.
So, I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I have not taken the test in a minute.
Yeah.
But that's what I remember it saying.
We know yours would be chaotic, obviously.
That's so rude.
But yeah, mine's like chaotic neutral too. So I don't know. It's definitely different types of chaos because I'm definitely more like laid back all the time.
Are you trying to say that I?
No, like obviously. Well, then you would be
laid back.
But.
Then wouldn't that be like lawful? Dude, I don't know.
No, it depends
I didn't make
on your
up
decisions because so it's a Dungeons and Dragons thing, which I did not know.
Oh, I have taken that before. It's on BuzzFeed?
No, I did not take the BuzzFeed
BuzzFeed quizzes are the most reliable.
100%.
150%.
No, it was literally like a Dungeons and Dragons like test, and it was asking me things like, if the king did this and like what would you do, and I was like, yikes, I don't know.
I live in America.
The answers were like really hard. It was like, I would 100% obey the king is my god, or I would kill him. And I was like, wait. I was like,
can I talk to the king?
Yeah,
maybe?
Like what's the situation? I'm not sure, but yeah, so I ended up getting chaotic neutral in that one.
You must have really
I read about it and it kind of made sense. Maybe I just believe that about everything. I could have read anything.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Even though that's how I used to feel about like a lot of things. I feel like when you get something that's very wrong, you're like, that's definitely not correct.
Well, fun fact, Bianca got chaotic neutral too. And I feel like we're all kind of similar. Like
chaotic?
Definitely yeah. Like you guys are very similar. I feel like me and you are pretty similar. And I feel like me and Bianca are pretty similar too. Like
yeah. That's
so
by the transitive property.
I was like,
you know? Is that even the transitive property? Do you remember anything from geometry?
No.
That was like in the thing about
SOHCAHTOA. I remember proofs. Do you remember proofs?
Vaguely.
Because
but
I never learned how to do them. I never learned. We had to do them for like an assignment, and I was like, I'm just not going to do it because I don't know how to do it.
We had like a whole test on proofs, and if you didn't like do the answer, then like do the proof. It was like 4... I remember it. I remember the answers. It was like H = 4 or something, definitely. but it was so much. And my teacher graded, he just spread out all the quizzes. I'm not lying. He spread out all the quizzes and just went check, 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 or like X so quickly. I'm like, are you even reading these?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times he would mark my answers correct.
Even if they
when
weren't.
they were not.
I think my teacher graded really easily in geometry, but also, so I had and still have test anxiety because I can't memorize anything, right? And so tests are all about memorizing. So I would freak the fuck out on tests. And so I'd be like, can I go to the library where it's quiet and I can just like take my test?
Yeah.
Because everyone, like, I would get stressed because I always finished last. I was the last one to finish because not only was I bad at math and I had test anxiety, like all of that. So everyone standing up and like handing in their tests would just like stress me out. So I was like, can I go to the library? She's like, yeah. Well, when I would go to the library, I would take all my stuff with me because I was the last one to finish the test, and I would really like leave from the library. Like I would just go. So then I was like, I would go in a room and I'd be by myself and have all my stuff with me, and I was like, well,
I mean, do you want to pass
all my
or not?
stuff?
Yeah.
And I was like, I am not gonna pass geometry if I don't. So I definitely cheated on some tests.
No, I mean, like,
but you want to know the worst part?
what?
I still got like B- on those tests. Like I didn't even get an A. Like it wasn't even because I was like trying to like not get a perfect whatever. I literally
You're like, I'll purposely put that one wrong and
yeah, no, I literally would just do so horrible.
Yikes.
Geometry is not my. I should never have been 2 years advanced in math. And
yeah, advanced math was like kind of a scam because they were like, you're advanced like in 5th grade. In 5th grade,
they told us in 6th grade basically. I somehow scraped by and got into this 6th grade advanced math. Okay, let me just explain my whole middle school to you. Okay, so there were 3 pods in 6th grade. And there was one class of 30 kids each in all 3 pods that were the advanced kids, right? Then they gave a test at the end of the year, and 10 kids from each class that scored the highest would then be put into the 2 years advanced math class in 7th grade. That's the thing. I didn't scam that one. I literally just took it, and I was one of the top 10 in my class somehow. I don't know how that happened. And so then I'm in the 7th grade, or with all the 30 kids, and my 7th grade math teacher, like, I was doing so horribly. At the end of the year, he gave me 11 extra credit points so that I would move on to the next. Like, I should not have stayed 2 years advanced, and like my teachers just kept like being like, all right. And then I just struggled in math the rest of my life because I was not prepared for that.
I think like I see so many tweets about how like school really set us up for failure because if you were like one of the advanced kids, then they were just like, yeah. And then you would like, you're used to like getting everything on the first try. So now like you don't, like I don't try it
because
anymore because of
you want to be good
math.
at it immediately. You're like, I was good at this stuff immediately. Like you're just used to that at this point, and then you're not, and you're like, you just get frustrated because you're like, why can't I do this? And now I have to put in work, and I'm not used to that. Like,
There's like a light in this microphone. Sorry.
A light in it?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so being advanced is so hard. Hard. It's really hard to just like be super advanced.
We do sound like assholes. We're like, now we have to work.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, they set us up.
Yeah.
Now we're just blaming other people. We're the worst. We're like, everyone else is the cause of our problem.
If I put my hand here, will it cause all of the cable bumps? Should I hold it here?
I've been holding it at the end.
I'm going to hold it like
this. There's like a thing to hold it. This thing. Hold it.
Yeah. You're not holding it.
I am holding it with my 3 fingers.
Oh. I thought you were just going like this. And I was like, Kaylin, how do I hold this microphone?
No, I hold it like this.
So
I like holding it better. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I like having the stand because I feel like I'm on a radio show.
I feel like I'm on a podcast when I'm like this.
Interesting. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm at the Grammys. Like presenting an award. Oh. No, I'm not performing.
You're introducing me. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm like welcome Kaylin to the stage, the Grammy stage. Anyway,
the Oscars, bitch.
I want to talk about
what?
Jude Law.
So I also would like to talk about
if you
Jude Law
don't know who Jude Law is.
The most underrated, attractive man in the, which doesn't make any sense because he is the most attractive actor I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's like really
and
weird.
I never hear anyone giving him clout.
No one ever gives him any clout. No clout for Jude Law.
They must have in the 90s. They must have.
Yeah.
Because he was the hottest in the 90s.
Yeah, he was. And I didn't know about that.
Oh my God.
Yesterday, my friend and I, we were just like, I had just watched The Talented.
The Talented. The title literally changes, but yeah,
it changes.
It's The Talented
Mr.
Ripley, because me and my other friend watched it, and we were like, Maureen, you need to watch this
movie. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it. 100%. And then I watched it, and I was like, thank God that Jude Law is in this. I felt really bad for Matt Damon the whole time.
Why?
Because, okay, imagine. You're watching a movie.
Psychotic.
It takes place in Italy. It's gorgeous. Jude Law is there. And then every single time after they show Jude Law's gorgeous face, Matt Damon's face appears. And not saying Matt Damon is ugly, but yikes. To follow that performance by Jude Law every time.
Yeah. Well,
yikes.
Okay. I think part of it is that his character in The Thing, not only is he psychotic and creepy, but also he's supposed to be kind of a goofball, like that doesn't belong. And so I think that was intentional.
That he's not hot? Or that Jude
hot.
Law's hotter?
But yeah, Jude Law is hotter because
that was just inevitable.
Because he's supposed to be the object of Matt Damon's attraction, right? And he's like,
which makes
obsessed
sense
with him because anyone would be,
obviously.
and that's like the casting was perfect because. How
Gwyneth
could
did
you
a great
not
job as
be
well.
obsessed? Like his whole character was that everybody is obsessed with him, his personality, his looks, whatever. Like,
and I'm like,
everybody
duh.
likes him. I'm like, yes,
believable movie.
I would also fall under his spell.
Seems
like
legit.
He had a girl in every town, and I'd be like, I would be one of them. No,
he'd be like, I have other bitches, and I'd be
like,
like, that's okay. I'll just be your Italian bitch. It's fine.
It's fine.
That's I wish I knew a
How
single
did
word
he
of
only
Italian.
hang out with like other Americans though? That was a plot hole to me.
No, I feel like it
all
makes
of
sense
his
because you're
friends were
just
like
walking around and you're like, hey, and they're like, that's an American guy.
Yeah,
let's hang out. You're American. Where are you from? Like,
yeah,
vibe, you know?
I guess. But also, since we're talking about Jude Law, you also watched Gattaca.
Yeah, so basically what happened was I watched Mr. Ripley. I was talking about it with our other friend, and I was supposed to be doing something productive. But instead I was like, oh, I want to see Jude Law's face right now. So we were Googling Jude Law, young Jude Law.
Wait, is Gattaca free?
Yeah, so I was like, I want to watch something else with him in it. I Googled Jude Law movies and then 90s because you don't want that old crusty. I mean, he looks fine, but
he aged
not as good.
Fine.
But
90s?
Yeah, period.
Oh my God. We should look up if him in the 90s and Leonardo DiCaprio were ever in a movie together because I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, that'd be really iconic.
90s Leo and 90s Jude.
Yeah, that'd be pretty iconic.
Oh my God.
But basically, I found out that Gattaca was released in 97 and Jude Law's in it.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched the trailer and it's on this weird website called shout out. Actually, no free clout. Can you bleep out? Every time I say it.
Okay,
Thank you.
No, I'm gonna put words. It's like
no free clout. But anyway, it has a bunch of commercials. The commercials are at the worst times. It's so weird. But the whole time we were just waiting for Jude Law to come on the screen, and he's not the main character of that movie. So it was
that's
this guy?
2 movies that he's not. Why would he not be the main character?
I know, a mistake.
A mistake.
It's a mistake.
Anyway.
So yeah, it was just yesterday was a very Jude Law themed.
Can we talk
day.
about how he literally, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, was in 1997 though, so get on it. He walked into the incinerator. It was like, I'm gonna dip and I'm gonna burn myself alive.
No, it made sense.
It made sense.
I was
but
I get it.
When I saw that part in the movie, I was
so sad.
I was
because
like,
I was Jude Law again.
Because I was just I was watching. I hadn't seen the first part of the movie. I was gone. We watched it in science.
You need to
We watched it in my biology class, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I missed the first part of the movie because I was somewhere, I don't even remember where.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they talked about the incinerator in the part that I missed because everyone else didn't seem to be so shocked that he just walked into it.
No, it's because the incinerator is also a shower. Look, I don't want to. I'd have to explain the whole plot of Gattaca, but basically, the other guy he's taking over Jude Law's life. You know that,
Yeah.
right? So like he has to, but they can like find you by your DNA. So he has to like scrub down every single morning, and like that's a shower. And then after he gets out of the shower, he like pressed the incinerator button, so it like burns all his DNA evidence.
And then he just steps in it.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy shit, but
Like, we
that's what
literally
happens
watch him
when
burn
your government's
alive.
like that.
But yeah.
You know what's weird about that movie also?
What?
Is so we were watching it, and then there's this part like near the beginning where they're talking, they like have 4 different cells for like a healthy baby, like because people are basically making designer babies in this world. Yeah, so he's like, oh, this one's gonna be a little girl and this one's gonna be a boy. And then I realized that like we can low-key do that now.
No, I was just
Like,
gonna
we have
say
the
that when you
technology.
said that. I was like, that, but that technology started coming around like years ago, because I remember
Yeah.
being young when I heard like, you can change the genetics of your baby and whatever.
And like make them have different eye colors and stuff.
I think that's weird.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
I was gonna like, but
because then people are people that we're gonna turn into the Gattaca society, because
No,
then people are
exactly.
literally gonna be like, oh, my baby was genetically modified, so my baby's better.
Yeah.
And then anyone
could be
who
true.
wasn't, it would be true, but like then it's gonna create another class system
Yeah.
of where you're the elite that's been like basically programmed to be
Yeah.
a certain way, and then you're everyone else who
I would
was
be
just
part of like
normal.
the lower one because
Mhm.
I can't see. Because my
Well,
like,
we would all-
people
we
with
would all be
glasses were
part
like
of it.
you.
like at
you
some
know?
point, because
No, I feel like you'd be part of the higher one. Do you have any genetic things?
I guess not technically.
Yeah.
I was born with an extra finger though. But I don't think that's a genetic thing.
No, it
I
is.
mean, I don't. Sorry, I don't think that's like a
I don't think it
something
would set
that
you
would
back.
that would set me back.
Yeah.
because I don't have.
But
it
they'd be like,
anymore.
she can't see to me, and I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and they'd be like, you're a
Yeah.
janitor
They
at
might.
NASA.
My
don't
hearing
know.
is low-key getting worse though, so maybe
Yeah, it comes with age.
it does.
You know, we're old
'Cause
now,
We're old
so-
and 20 and disgusting,
Yikes,
and wrinkly.
that's so nasty.
It really is wrinkly. It says it really is wrinkly.
It really be wrinkly though.
So wrinkly.
But what would you do with your designer baby?
Like after it's
Like if you could
born?
like choose some traits for your little baby. No,
Um,
like they're like altering the genetics when it's in like a cell.
Yeah, I would want them just to be able to do the things that like I couldn't do. So I'd want them to be like flexible, like be able to do like gymnastics if they wanted, or like
Yeah.
dance or something. Because I think that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Or like sports. Like I would want them to be athletic. I wouldn't force them to be athletic or in a
Mhm.
sport or something like that if they didn't want to be. But I want them to have the option to.
I'd give mine like crazy eyes.
Mm.
And that's really it. Like, maybe just be like a healthy kid other
Yeah.
than that, but like weird like red eyes or something.
I don't think
designer.
I don't think I would feel comfortable changing how they look. I think that would weird me out. Like
yeah,
I
it
don't
probably would.
like if I have to choose something to change, I would make them more like be able to be physically active, like more inclined to be physically active, I guess. But I think
is that a genetic thing though?
yeah, I think
Oh,
at some point it is genetic. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
if you do sports, you're going to become more athletic, but like you
That
know
was
how
me
some
running.
kids just straight up aren't like play piano, like
Yeah.
are not athletic.
You know, some kids on the piano,
Sorry.
if you know what I mean.
like there's some kids who just like athleticism is not in their genes, you know,
Mhm.
and I have some athleticism in my genes, but I feel like not enough, and so I would want my
Yeah.
kids to be like, yeah,
Just Olympians.
100%.
Definitely.
But yeah, the looks thing, I would feel uncomfortable.
I think I'd
doing
give my
that.
kids the genetics to probably be like influencers, like influencer genetics, just like
I think Sagittarius already has that.
yeah, you know, of course.
yeah.
Here we are, influencer of the year.
Yeah, vote us for best podcast.
Yeah, what is it? The streamies?
The streamies.
The potties?
Yeah, we're nominated for the streamy.
We're nominated for a
potty.
a casty. It's for podcasts and like
Yeah.
actual casts. Like a leg cast.
It's best cast.
Early.
And the award
Full
for best
body.
cast.
Award for best full body cast.
Oh my god, imagine
goes
that award
to-
show. It's just pictures of like a leg cast,
Yeah.
an arm cast, and you just like have to
Like
vote.
you got the X-rays. You're like, oh, that was a nasty spill
That
right
was a
there.
nasty spill, but that the cast they put on didn't really match.
Have you seen? Oh God, I want to talk about two things at the same time.
Okay, just table one.
One. Have you seen the episode of My Strange Addiction? I want to say where the guy's addicted to putting himself into cast.
No.
He's like addicted to making like casting himself. Like he will put on because he likes the sympathy that he gets in public. Like it's weird, and like he likes when people. He's like, he goes to a bar. He has like a cast he made himself. Nothing's wrong with him, and it's just I think he had both of his arms like that.
Oh no.
And he had a pen in his pocket or something, and this girl's like, "Oh, what happened?" Like clearly she was told to go over there,
Oh no.
like by the producers. She's like, "Oh my god, what happened?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I like fell or some shit." He makes some shit up. He's like, "Do you want to sign my cast?"
Yikes.
Yeah,
I would love to study people like that. Like
watch
what?
My Strange Addiction.
Like yeah, I think that's so. People are so interesting that like I want to know where that need for attention stems from. Like I want to know what happened in your
Yeah.
childhood. That's why I
think-
would love to be a therapist because
Do
you
it.
get to know so much about people.
Just for the tea, you just
Literally, I'd be like, please tell me more.
tell me more.
And like I give like decently good advice anyway. So if I studied
Yeah.
to be a therapist, then I'd be better at it, and then I
Yeah,
would get the
well,
tea
you would
and
give
I'd
them
give
like medical advice,
Yeah.
instead of just like, oh, I think you need to
yeah.
realign your
Yeah,
chakras.
but like therapists, not that. But I mean like therapists will give advice on like what you should do with your problems
Yeah.
and how you should solve them. And I
As
feel like
they
I know
should.
how to do that
Yeah,
at some point.
dude,
you know?
do it. There's nothing stopping you from being a therapist
I'll
right
be it
now.
after I retire from being a director.
Okay.
Like I get real famous. I like have my career, and then on the side, I am a realtor for mansions
Fun.
and a therapist.
Fun.
Celebrity
But-
therapist.
Oh, that'd be.
I'm gonna
Wait,
be
but
a
would people
celebrity
trust you? Because they'd be like, what if she's just trying to make this into a movie?
Nah, I would like openly be like, I am retired from the film business.
Retired.
I am now a realtor / therapist.
Yeah.
So when I show you your house,
That'd be kind of fun.
wait, it's a TV show.
That'd be kind of fun.
where I show them houses
Yeah.
and I'm their therapist.
like, oh my god, like couples counseling. Like, oh my god. 'Cause
as
you
they're
know,
buying a house. Oh my god.
you know how on House Hunters, like they're always arguing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't want that. I'd be like, this is what's wrong with your relationship. You guys aren't
Yes.
listening to each other. Now, what countertops do we want? You know?
I just created the best
That'd be
reality
amazing.
TV show.
Yeah,
Are
no
you
one take
kidding?
that.
Nobody. Trademarked.
TM. Boom.
You can't touch it now.
Can't touch it. Okay.
Oh my god.
Other thing I wanted to
Yeah.
say, did you ever watch America's Funniest Home Videos?
Of course I did. Are you kidding?
That's all. I was just wondering. That was a good show, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that show, no, here's the thing. That show made me cringe.
Me too.
Because people were really getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can,
They would get
remember
so
we talked
hurt.
about feeling pain? I was like, I
Yeah.
can feel that. I don't like it.
It would be like people literally getting flung. Like, I think I
You
saw
could
someone
see
get
their-
flung like from a tree.
Yeah,
Like,
you can
in
see like their
the
back
air.
like snap. They like hit the
Yeah.
ground and they're like bend in half. I'm like, I can
was-
feel it. I
oof.
don't like it.
Yeah, it was a big oof to watch.
Oh, and then like
But it was funny.
It was funny.
It had its moments of like pure
Yeah.
like comedy.
But do you remember when like videos like that transformed from just being on shows like that to then being like on the internet?
Yeah,
Like, whatever.
World
And then we would
Star.
see stuff like that
Yeah.
more. I think that's why is that show still on?
Is it?
I have no idea.
My phone is up there providing the
so
lighting,
is- my
and
phone
your
is
phone's providing the
filming.
video. So there's no way for us to know.
I'll look at it later and I'll put it in.
I kind of wanna, put it in.
I'll
Put it
figure
right
out.
here.
America's Home Videos.
Is it on? Yes or no?
Or no.
Put it right here. So,
So anyways.
yeah. I wanted to say,
Yeah.
I just have statements. I don't have anything
No, that's great.
worthwhile to talk about. So you're familiar with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Mhm.
or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Both.
Either
I am
one.
familiar with.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the newer
Johnny
one,
Depp?
the Johnny Depp version. because I found the other version like really creepy when I was a kid. Like I was afraid of that Willy Wonka, so that kind of
was a
trend,
little unsettling.
like he scared me. So then I ended up liking the Johnny Depp version more, and I think still to this day I like it more because I like what they did. I really liked the boat ride.
Yeah, the effects were like really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. So I think
and the musical numbers when they fucking
the musical numbers went
blueberry bitch.
off.
Yeah.
Well, they're a ghost.
They said oompa loompa bitch.
They really did, and what went into it was great. Like, not to get all film major on you, but like the guy who played he played every Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, one guy.
He had to learn so many dance moves and stuff. Like he had to do all the different parts. He was all the harmonies.
Yeah,
he
and
was
they made
everything.
him look so small with movie magic.
Well, he was also small.
No, but he wasn't that small.
Well, obviously not.
They made
that
him look
small.
like knee high.
Yeah, okay, but he was pretty small also.
I mean, yeah. But not that small.
Yeah, I really appreciate all the effort that went into it. I thought the set design was great.
It was.
I liked the ending where the house was in the whole place.
With the salt,
so Charlie
the
could
sugar.
still take over.
For sure.
Willy Wonka had a family. Everything was great. I loved that.
Yeah.
Did you read the book?
I vaguely think that it was read to me in
class?
elementary school, like in class.
Did you ever read the book The Witches by Roald Dahl?
No.
Let me tell you. That book was crazy. So it was like, I love the drawings in all of his books, first of all. Like, I love the drawings. I don't, does he do it? I don't remember. Anyways, we'll figure that out. So in the book The Witches, basically, it's this kid and he's living with his grandma. And his grandma tells this story about that witches are real, and she knows it, and like a lot of people don't know this, but basically there was like a whole society of witches, and they eat children.
Oh my god!
And so they would like they look like
to her
grandchild. Yeah.
Oh god!
So they all look like normal women, and there's no way to tell that they're witches except that their spit is blue, which you can't see normally. Also, they didn't have any toes. So basically, their feet just kind of stopped.
Did
at
Dan
the top
Schneider
of the
write
foot.
this?
No. Roald Dahl. So like they would like squeeze their feet into high heels, so that you couldn't see, and they looked like normal women, but basically their feet were like in pain the whole time. And they had like claws for fingers, but they wore gloves, and that was like one way that you could always tell. They were like, look for the gloves on their hands, and that's how you'll be able to tell. So like it was just this kid, he hears this story, his parents are dead, he's living with his grandma, and then he almost gets kidnapped by a witch, and like he realizes, he's like, yo, this lady that's trying to be nice to me and like offer me shit is a witch.
She
so
don't
like
have any
he
toes.
like stayed in the tree, he like hid in a tree, right? Then he ends up at this hotel with his grandma. They're like traveling. They're going to visit someplace, right? It ends up being the same hotel as a witches' convention. The one time of year where all of them gather at this hotel.
Ew, and he's the only kid there.
He ends up in, he's like, I can't remember if he's chasing a mouse or if he's just like having fun. I think he's chasing his mice that he has.
Ew.
And he like has mice. I don't know.
That's
and
weird.
So he ends up stuck in this ballroom.
No
the
offense
witches
to mice
meeting
people.
starts. He realizes that they're all witches, and because they all like take off their shoes and all
I
this
was about to
stuff.
say, did you see their lack of toes?
Yeah, because they were all like, I'm witches and whatever.
So they don't wear shoes ever?
They like took them off when they got in the room when they thought no other like humans were around. It was just all the witches.
So he was like sneaking into their room to get a peek at them toes.
No, listen.
I don't understand.
He got stuck in this ballroom because he was playing with his
ballroom
mice of the hotel.
I think it's weird to take your shoes off in a ballroom. There, I said it.
But they were doing it because they were all witches in there.
That's weird. Like, wait till you get back to your room.
No, they were like, we can all be in solidarity with our feet out because
wiggle our like nub in
and our claws out and everything.
Claws
right?
out, toes
and
out.
Then
no toes out.
They like turn him into a mouse, I think, when they discover him, and they try to kill him because that's their whole plan. They're gonna turn all kids into mice to kill them easier. Why? I don't know. How
in my humble opinion, I feel like it's better to kill it. It's easier.
Yeah,
like,
because literally the mouse that was the kid got away from them.
Yeah, it can like go through a crack. It can like go through like a hole.
And then like the second half of the book, like the middle act on, you know,
Yeah.
is like him as a mouse and his grandma trying to like get the antidote and like end all the witches and whatever. It's just like a really crazy, interesting book, and I recommend everyone read it.
Huh.
Yeah, that's all I had to say. It's been 29 minutes. I talked about that for a long time. Like, did I just talk for 15 minutes about that book? I don't know.
But we love it. We love having no toes. We love being a mouse.
It was an interesting book, and
It sounds
crazy.
interesting. I
like
can't
reread it
imagine
recently for some reason because I read it as a kid and I was like, this book is nuts.
I've never
and then
read
it again.
before.
Yeah.
Did you read the tale? I read the title of Despero, and that was another mouse book.
I watched the movie. I think I tried
the movie
to read
was
the book.
trash.
The movie was great. I
don't remember either.
Oh,
Honestly.
okay, I was like, that opinion is invalid because the movie was fantastic.
I think the book was better though.
I mean, probably, but
I'm just saying that so
I don't think
because
I
I read
read
the book.
The book, even though I'm a big advocate for reading
It's
the
like
book
pretty
first.
thick. I remember the pages
It
were
is
like
thick.
weird. Like the pages weren't like smooth. The pages were like all crunchy on the edges, and I was like, "What's the purpose of this?"
That's
but okay,
how,
I'll read it.
Lemony Snicket had his books too.
Yeah, I was
They're,
like,
like,
you
crunchy
couldn't
on the
afford
end.
the good paper, or
I don't know if it was just like a
I think it was for the vibes. That's probably
Yeah.
more than likely.
Yeah, that movie was good.
Yeah,
He had like big ass ears.
yeah,
For no reason. His ears were huge.
because he was a
And
mouse.
then everyone hated him for that.
Yeah,
They
like,
were
you big-
you're different.
So was he supposed to be Dumbo? Like, what is? Why is it? You know what? Never mind.
No,
Back
no.
to the Oompa-
What were you gonna say? I want to know what you're gonna say.
No, I was just like they would just be like people like Rudolph.
Mm-hmm.
Just had a glowing nose. They're like, oh, look at you.
Because
Ooh,
it's probably
weird.
they're probably trying to have like a subtle message about society.
No, it's
and,
supposed to be
not
like, oh,
accepting
like
people.
embrace people who are different because they
Mhm.
can like help you. I'm like, duh, just don't be.
Yeah.
If
just, like,
I was a
don't be
deer
jerk.
and I saw Rudolph with his little glowing red nose,
Mhm.
I would just be like, hey, dude, like I'd be
Yeah,
friends with him.
they
have
always
him help me
pick
look
like
for
the
car
weirdest
keys.
things to do it with. It's never personality. It's like your nose looks weird and we're gonna treat you like shit for
Until
it.
it's useful for them.
Yeah, and then they're like, now they're all friends and whatever. I'm like,
Yeah,
I would not
that's
be
like
friends
the
with any
fakest
of
friendship.
you.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck you guys. Like if
Like I'm
if they
leading the
bullied him
sleigh
since he
I'm
was
pulling
born.
it.
Since he was born, they were like,
Mhm.
fuck you, Rudolph. And then as soon as it's a fucking cloudy
Cloudy.
Christmas Eve, and then
Mhm.
Santa's like, dude, I need your help. I'd be like, fuck you, Santa.
Yeah.
Go deliver the presents in the dark.
Or I would run up to the front of that sleigh and I'd be like, ha,
I can carry it myself.
I can carry it. I'm gonna guide all of
Fuck
you.
you, Vixen, or whatever. Name,
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph.
period.
Rudolph.
You know them all. Yeah.
Did I sing the song in my head while you were talking? Yes.
Okay, I was trying to sing it, but I forgot the words.
I feel like I knew that pretty spot on. I was like,
Dasher and Dancer and
Prancer,
Prancer and
Vixen,
Vixen,
Comet,
and
Cupid,
and
Donner,
Donald.
and Blitzen.
Donner?
Don. I heard something that it was also Donder, but that
That's a
sounds
stupid
stupid.
name, yeah.
So we're saying Donner.
Unless your name's Donder, then we love you.
Donner is dumb. Like
Donner?
Donner Blitzen? Sick name.
Well, Blitzen's kind of sick,
It's-
yeah.
Imagine. Like,
What's
that's
your name?
amazing.
Blitzen?
Blitzen. Donner.
Yeah.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen.
The rest of the podcast is us saying the names in a different order.
No,
Do
it
it
can't
backwards.
be.
Do it backwards.
No, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, Donner, Cupid, Comet. I think I already messed it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Prancer,
know.
Dancer, Dasher. I
believe
missed
you.
something.
Comment down below if she did it correctly.
Yeah.
But I just remembered why I brought up Willy Wonka.
Oh,
It's because the Oompa Loompas were enslaved.
you think so?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Think about it. Picture this. Picture this. You're Johnny Depp and you're wearing a hat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to a jungle in wherever, Oompa Loompa land.
Oh my God, he
And
colonized
then,
them.
Yeah, and then you take some Oompa Loompas back on a ship.
And you're like, back
Back
on a
to your
ship, and you're saying
factory.
that they're gonna have a better life
Yeah.
in your factory.
In your factory,
Oh my
and they
God.
can't even
they
go
were doing just
outside.
fine before
Yeah.
they had the huts.
They were living in but they were like eating caterpillars, but like that's what they ate. He was like, that's nasty. He went to their country and
Yeah.
like was like, that's gross.
But
You want
he
some
did
chocolate?
promise them all the chocolate that they could ever have.
I mean, he provided that, but
I feel like he provided them a really good life.
I I mean, they don't even know what the outside world is like.
I don't stand with colonizers.
So
I'm
guys,
not trying to justify colonization. I'm just wondering if he gave them a better life or not.
I think
or
that
did he just rip away their culture?
He definitely. I mean, I'm not sure. I want a movie just about the Oompa Loompas. To see like what their factory life was like. Like, do they have unions? You know, because if they don't have unions, then I have to say that's slavery. Like, he's not paying them money. He's just giving them, like, the chocolate that he's gonna have at the factory anyway. Like, he's probably giving them scraps, and they're, like, lit.
But do they need money?
They
literally live in a
They wouldn't be able to use money because they, like, are trapped
That factory is so big. What if he just recreated their jungle in another room and we just didn't see it?
No, don't they
he
live
had
in those,
so many
no,
rooms?
I'm thinking of the sheep. Yeah.
The sheep?
No, I was like, don't they live in those little, like, glass things that the sheep were in, like they were cotton candy sheep?
No,
maybe
that factory is so
up?
big. I bet like each Oompa Loompa has their own like mansion.
The factory
they're tiny.
Big,
a mansion is like a two bedroom house.
Why? Because
they're tiny.
That's kind of sizest. If I have to, if I do say so myself.
Sorry.
Why should they have tiny mansions? Why can't they have regular mansions? Actually, yeah, it'd be harder for them to reach the cabinets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just need a tiny house.
But they were enslaved is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they
potentially.
just sleep.
Unconfirmed Oompa Loompas were enslaved.
Unconfirmed.
I want to talk about creativity. Okay? So, like, we were just in class. Sorry, weird
Oh my god, are you about to
we
drag someone?
No, I'm not. I wanted to talk about, like, the creative rush that you kind of get. Like, as... We're creative people. We go to an art school, right? We were just in a
clearly.
We go to we were in a class, and it's like a screenwriting class, right? And we're sitting in like a big table, and it's kind of like a writer's room set up, right? And like when other people are talking about their ideas and whatever, like I just love that rush of creativity you get like when you get a good idea and you're like, I'm pumped to write this. I'm like, I want to write all my ideas down. Like I want to create this immediately. Like that's my favorite feeling.
Yeah,
as
it's pretty sick.
As a creative, because as like an artist, if you want to call it, like I don't know. I just
it sucks
love
like
getting,
not having that. And
I
then
love
having
getting
to work
that
on
inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like working on projects where I don't feel that same energy. Because like the project I'm working on now, I've had that same energy kind of throughout. Like every time I have an idea about it, I'm excited about it and I want to write it and whatever. And there's been a lot of assignments and stuff where I've done where they're like write this script or whatever, and I don't have that. So when I'm writing it, I just don't even want to write it because it's not that it's a bad idea. It's like
you don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, I just don't care enough about it.
It's like it might as well be someone else's project.
It feels like someone else's project.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, this is a good idea and I would like to help you write that, but I don't think that that's my project to write.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it sucks because like that's how I felt last semester with our TV writing class. The script I was writing for that, like initially I liked my initial idea, but as I was fleshing it out, I was like, I'm not passionate about this anymore, but now I'm stuck writing it for this class, and I ended up like not finishing it or finishing it enough to turn it in and like get a grade on it, but it didn't make me want to continue it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing about being an art major that like sucks, because like it's actually really hard.
It is.
I know that we don't have to like cure cancer for homework, but it's like
it's a different kind of difficult because like Michelle talks about how she would so much rather take a test than do any like projects. And we're the complete opposite. Like we're like, I want to do a project. I'm excited to do this project. Like that's our life. And I think that's so the dynamic between those two things is so interesting.
Yeah, definitely. My one friend like just posted something like about like how she'd recently transferred into being an art major, and she was like, I realize I'm fully an art major now because I'm like stuck working on a project that I really don't care about, but like you have to like just keep pushing through. It's really a struggle because I'm like, why did I even have to like start this? Who came up with this idea? An idiot?
Well, and sometimes like it sucks when your assignment is come up with an idea. And you're like, it doesn't always work like that.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my ideas
like, can you give me a
show
prompt?
up.
Yeah,
I like to have some sort of, prompt or like idea to think about where I can then change that into my own idea. And obviously, like, coming up with original ideas is fun too, but that's harder. Like, you know, it takes more time.
Especially
and
if it's something that they're like, you're going to be working the whole semester.
Yeah, you're going to be working
this.
the whole semester on this. Come up with it by next week.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't work for me. I need some time to come up with the idea. And I don't know. I think that's why so many artists end up being like freelance artists or whatever, because you get to do it on your own time, like independent artists, because you get to do it on your own time, and you don't always need a deadline right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. But yeah, I just was thinking about that creative rush, that inspiration, because I also thought about this a while ago. I was watching a Chris Clemens video, and
shout out Chris Clemens. Actually,
Chris
no
Clemens.
Free clout. Can you bleep out his name?
No,
I'm kidding.
Chris.
I love Chris. Shout out Chris Clemens.
NYU gang.
I think I live at your old dorm. Come visit.
Yeah, come see your old corner.
Oh my God.
Stop doing that. Okay. So I was watching one of his videos one time. I think I even commented on it. If you can find that comment on this video.
Chris Clemens, find the comment.
I don't even remember what video it was, but I could see him in the video get that creative inspiration and get that rush. And he was like talking to somebody else, and it was like about an idea that he wanted to film. And it was just like a vlog or something kind of video that he was filming at the time. But I could see it, and like he was talking with other people, and I could see like where his brain was going almost. And I could see like when they would start talking and he'd like have another idea, he wanted to like jump in, like all this stuff. Like, I don't know, it felt so familiar. I was like, I've been that so many times.
I know the vibe.
Like, I know, literally, like I literally know the vibes.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds so dumb. I don't know. I was just like,
I literally know the vibe.
I literally know the vibes.
But it's true.
Right, but it's true. Like, I was watching this happening, and I was like, wow, like that's happened to me so many times. Like, I love that feeling right there. I think I commented like, I love that. You could see it, and I love that feeling, and I love watching other people get that feeling, get that inspiration, because it's a good feeling to be inspired, you know?
Yeah, it truly is.
I don't know.
Hashtag just art major things.
Just art major things. I couldn't be anything else.
Yeah, I think sometimes I'm like, I'm really glad that this is what I did, because I get to learn about stuff and I'm like interested in it.
Yeah, like I actually care about what I'm learning.
Yeah, I feel so bad for people who, like, I don't feel bad for like people who are like in different majors. I just feel bad for people who like are in majors that they don't care about.
Because or they're just doing it for money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, obviously I want money, but I would not be a film major if all I cared about was money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because we're spending so much money right now.
Yeah.
There's no job security.
Nope.
There's not an ounce of job security.
Not one tiny little drop.
But you got to do something you love, you know, and it's.
Because I really would not be going to a single class if this was a different major. I would just be like laying in bed and being like, oh,
I think I eventually would have come down this path anyways. I don't like the thought of who I would be if I wasn't an art major. I feel like that person is so boring.
I can't even picture it.
Yeah, I can't.
She doesn't exist in every single dimension.
I wouldn't want her to exist.
she's an art major every time.
Yeah, or it eventually becomes one. I think just like all paths would lead to this at some point.
All roads lead to Tish.
All roads lead to Tish. NYU can use that. Actually, pay me for it if you want that.
Yeah. No free clout. Bleep out NYU. Bleep out Tish.
Yeah, we don't go to any school.
Yeah, we're schoolless. We're just we're pretending to pay tuition.
This is our equipment.
Yeah, I own this.
This is our room
studio. I feel like I'm.
Yeah. Are you slouching too much?
Yeah, because I'm taller than you. And that's a fact. That's an undisputed fact right there.
Yeah, you're taller than me.
And I would never lie to you.
It's definitely not the chairs, guys, so don't think that.
No. If you think it's the chairs, then you're stupid.
Stupid.
When did you stop believing in Santa Claus?
Oh. I distinctly remember it was 3rd grade. I remember the whole time. So, or do I? So I went in my mom's room, and I found this list, and it was like of gifts for like my sister and gifts for me, and it was the gifts that we had gotten from Santa for Christmas that year.
Interesting.
And I was like, why does my mom have a list of this?
Did you confront her?
I did. I remember exactly what I did. So I went. So she wasn't there at the time. I went in my room. I got my diary.
Mom sucks.
No, and I wrote, I was like in tears. I was like, I think my mom might be Santa Claus. And I'm so sad about it. Like, I was
Santa Claus.
So depressed about it. I was like, what do you mean?
Like,
I was like, so does this mean like the tooth, like, I don't know how I feel about like the tooth fairy and like all this other stuff. I was like going through like trauma. I was
you just realized everything's a lie.
Yeah,
in
so
that
I
moment.
like, she came home and I was like, Mom, I need to talk to you. I was like, I found this list in your room. And she was like, oh. She like kind of tried to play it off for a second.
Yeah.
She was like, I was like, are you Santa Claus? She was like, why do you think that? And I was like, Mom, listen, I have evidence. Yeah, and then she kind of just confessed everything to me at that moment. I will say, I fully believe, it was the same year, around Christmas, I fully believed in Santa because we got bunk beds for our like dolls. And I was like, these don't come in stores. I was like, I've never seen this in one single store.
Yeah.
Therefore, Santa is real.
Santa's real. That's what I always wondered though as a kid. Like I would see the toys and I'd be like, that's branded right there. Like that did not come out of Santa's. Why is Santa's toy shop? I was like, how do they have the rights to this? Like as in kindergarten, I'm like, they can get the rights to just duplicate someone else's toy.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Well, I think for a second, I did just assume that all toys came from Santa's workshop.
That's what I tried to reason too.
Because I was like,
must be.
They must all come from there.
Because what else would they be doing throughout the year?
Yeah, they're just made like Toys R Us.
That's
is
what the movies need to do in order to get the kids of today to believe it.
Always suggest openly that Santa is not real.
Yeah.
And then they try to like redeem themselves by like introducing Santa. But they really set up for the first 2/3 of the movie that Santa is not real.
Yeah.
And you're like, and like the parents do everything. Because the parents are always like, oh yeah, Santa's real.
How did Christmas like movie parents like deal? Because the parents will be like, Santa's not real. Like they'll say it to their kid.
Literally.
Then Santa like dropped off gifts. Like you see like Santa Claus like coming down the chimney dropping off gifts. So when the kids open the presents in the morning, how are the parents not like, I didn't buy that?
Yeah.
Or does Santa implant a false memory?
We need to write a new Christmas movie that actually makes sense because none of them make any sense.
Yeah.
You're like, why is this happening? Like the movie, this like Santa Claus, straight up.
The Santa
Claus, or is it Santa Claus? I think it's the Santa Claus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that movie
because it's
with
a clause
Tim
in
Allen.
a contract.
Yeah.
Genius.
So that movie, like the dad just straight up is like, yeah, Santa doesn't exist.
And then he turns into Santa.
And then he turns into Santa, but
So
even
what
as
does
he's
that
turning
mean?
into Santa, he's like, literally, Santa's not real.
Yeah, I'm like, sir, look in the mirror, maybe. Like, I don't understand how.
I don't know. Their logic is always flawed. And then the kids, like mother and stepfather, they didn't believe either.
Yeah.
And like,
but then they go to the fucking North Pole. So
yeah. And they're like, wow, Santa is real. I'm like, who did you think was giving your son all these gifts?
So I'm like, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. We're creating an Oompa Loompa movie.
Yeah.
A new Santa Claus movie.
New Santa movie that's accurate. Shout out Santa.
Shout out Santa. Sorry, just writing.
Are you writing shout out Santa too?
Sure.
Or what is Père Noël? That's Santa in French.
Père Noël. Like pear, P-E.
No, like pear, like father. Father Christmas.
Pear, like father. I don't speak French.
Yeah, it's French. Sorry, I'm a foreign baddie. So you know.
I said that last time. We talked about French, and I was like, oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Oh, oui, oui. Oh, in my AP French class in like high school, no one in my class could speak French except for like 3 people.
Oh, okay.
Like genuinely. So we were all just kind of like faking our way through it. And like genuinely like one of our most used phrases was oui oui baguette. Because that's like what they'd be like, okay, time for speaking. We're like, oh, oui oui baguette. But genuinely that's all we knew how to say. Yeah, it's really cute being fluent.
Bilingual.
Vibes.
You know, I used to think that I would be able to speak Spanish. Like Spanish would come easy to me because I'm like an 8th Mexican.
It's in my blood.
My mom uses that. She would use that all the time. She'd be like, do
you mark it?
You like look Hispanic. I was like, Mom, no, I don't. I was like, Mom. She's like, yeah, like you just like you got the more of the Hispanic genes than your sister. I was like, I just have dark hair and dark eyes. I was like, Mom, no, I don't. But she would like hype that up all the time.
Do you like mark Hispanic on like the what race are you? Because you might. You probably should.
I think I did on some things, but I don't usually because I'm pale.
Not Hispanic.
Hello, I'm
but
very
I mean,
white.
they don't know. They don't have your ancestry.com results.
But like, it's not like I'm not at all. But that would also, I'm like 0.1% Ashkenazi Jew. That I'm not gonna claim that I'm Jewish. Like, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I don't know.
How do you know? Did you do 23andMe?
I did. The government has my DNA.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I
wanted
wanted to find out because I knew that my mom's side was white, like very.
For sure.
But I knew that my dad's side had a lot of Hispanic in it, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I want to see. Turns out I have DNA from every continent except for Antarctica and Australia. So, yeah.
Interesting.
It was very interesting. Like I have some from, I'm gonna forget, a few countries in Africa. I'm sorry, cannot remember. I have some.
Shout out the continent.
Shout out every single country
in Africa.
In Africa. Didn't she say every single continent in Africa or something?
Someone
like
has
that?
said that.
Wasn't that like Raven? What did she say? There's like a meme of her saying something stupid, like something like
Raven Simone.
Simone. Yeah. Is that her real last name? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Is it her last name? Simone is not a last name. I think she just goes by Raven Simone. And everyone's like, yeah. Like how Madonna just goes by Madonna.
Yeah. But anyway, she said something weird, every continent in Africa or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got whole bunch of European. It's like 90 something percent.
Shout out Europe.
Shout out white people.
Shout out to all our Caucasians watching.
Shout out to the Caucasians.
Shout out Caucasus Mountains.
But yeah. Have you taken the 23andMe?
No, because I don't want the government to have my DNA.
The government really has.
They already have too much. Like the fact that this is going to be on the internet is already too much for me. Yeah. Because they have my internet
the internet
DNA.
has our faces.
Yeah, it has our faces.
And our voices. Yeah. We're saying every word in the English language right now.
Yeah. Dude, we can be like deep faked.
Yeah, we can 100% be deep faked.
God damn it. I'm going to keep the microphone.
You can't see my
right
mouth
here. Like this.
I noticed on the last podcast that I talk with my mouth like closed.
You talk like that?
It looked like I was mumbling a lot. And
did it sound like it?
A little bit. And I was like, I didn't realize I talked like that. And this is a whole learning experience now. I'm like, I like learned everything about myself. I'm like, oh, I don't look good at that angle. I talk weird. It's fine. I'm trying to become more body positive.
For sure.
And like just be like more confident because I'm just like, this is what I look like.
Yeah.
You know?
And those are the vibes.
And I can't change that. And that's fine.
Even if you tried, even if you wanted to.
Yeah. Is that a song?
How do you Macklemore?
Macklemore?
Someone told me that you have to say Macklemore.
No, I think it's Macklemore.
Macklemore?
Yeah.
Look, the ceiling can't hold us. Quite frankly. So
when I was in the 3rd grade.
Thought that I was gay. What's the next line?
Something my uncle was.
Kept my room
to draw.
straight.
Something like that. That's how it went.
What a great song. Shout out Macklemore.
Shout out Macklemore.
I remember when that song came out, everyone's like, oh my God.
Everyone was like, gay in a song? No way, dude. Everyone was like, if you listen to that song, you're gay.
It was like,
whoa.
Oh, I was thinking everyone was like, the gays are real. Like, everyone's like, this
that
is
too. They were like, oh, like, people are gay.
I was like, yeah.
I remember when I first heard the word lesbian. Where were you when you first heard the word lesbian?
Oh my God, I remember. Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
I remember. I was at my house and my friend was over and she like said the word. She was like said the word lesbian. I was like, Mom. I was like, she said the word lesbian, and my mom was like, okay.
What about
I was like, but isn't that a bad word? And she was like, no. She thought it was so stupid. I was like,
Your mom was like, why'd you talk to me?
Yeah, she was like, you're
Stop.
an idiot. And I was an idiot.
Yeah.
So.
I think I heard the word lesbian when, you know, like when you were swinging at recess, if you like swang.
Swung.
If you swung at the same time as someone, it was called being married.
Being married. You just
So-
brought back a weird memory.
You're welcome. So, like, whenever, like, I guess there was 2 girls who were married, and then someone's like, they're lesbians. And then everyone was like, oh, shit, I guess so. And then they got divorced because the swings stopped aligning.
That's the tragedy of the century.
Yeah. A lot of people got married in elementary school. Were you married in elementary school? I never was.
Like on the swings or like to someone?
Like, you know, did you not have full-blown weddings? I, like, went to a wedding, like, at recess, like, in 3rd grade.
I remember there were these 2 people that were dating, and we were like, invite us to your wedding someday, because we just assumed they were going to be together forever. This was literally elementary school. We were like, you're going to be together forever.
Are they still together?
Definitely not. They broke up in, like, 5th grade, I think.
Oh. Going strong, though, for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think we went. I'll tell you something weird. Talking about young me is so embarrassing.
Yeah,
So
no, everyone's young person.
So something weird that we used to do, we would play huskies in the winter at recess. So we would all be different dogs.
I think every school had at least one group that. No, I think everyone played dogs at some point.
I think you had to, because they would clear off like the tar part of recess and push all the snow into these huge piles. And we were like, we are sled dogs in the mountains.
Obviously.
And like someone would be like the pack leader, someone would be like the baby, like we'd all have like different names and personalities and stuff. We would bark. I don't know. Yeah, it's so embarrassing. But yeah.
No, everyone, like me and my friends, we'd be like witches or something, like on my friend's play set or whatever. We'd be like, like get sticks and be like, this is my little wand.
Fun.
For the vibes. Playing pretend.
Vibes. I remember. Did you ever get bullied?
No. I refused. My mom refused.
Like, I won't get bullied.
Like, my mom was like, if someone ever tries to touch you, you can beat their ass regardless and you won't be in trouble. So that was my mindset for everything. And I think that vibe just came out. So no one ever... Or maybe I was bullied and I didn't process it.
That could be true.
That was me.
People are like trying to bully you. You're like, you're like, is someone talking? Is someone talking to me?
I was like, okay, I'm going to go drink some juice now.
Did you have like, remember kindergarten snack times did you ever have it where you would have like little carts and you would go and you'd get the cartons of milk and you would get the graham crackers, because it was always milk and graham crackers, and then we'd bring them back to the room and then we'd hand out snacks, because I remember that vividly in kindergarten.
No,
it was the best thing.
I went to like a weird kindergarten though. Like they taught us how to cut, like I remember like learning how to cut a carrot in kindergarten. Like I had a knife in my hand. I was a kindergartner.
Eating glue.
No, I like was cutting carrots.
We are not the same.
Was like I went to a really weird kindergarten. That's why I'm the way I am, I guess.
Probably.
Like everyone from that school's. I just had a random flashback.
Oh.
That's always scarred me. This one kid, there was these 2 kids that were like brothers or something. 2 flashbacks.
Oh.
But one of them like bit the other one like on his arm, and there was like so much blood. I was like,
blood.
Like traumatized. Yeah, like he drew blood from like biting him. Like I don't know. And this other time, a kid like had a seizure during class.
No.
And we were all like sitting in a circle like to begin with, and then this kid starts seizing, and like they just put him in the middle of the circle. And we're like, don't touch him. And we're all just sitting there as this kid's seizing in the middle of the circle. And we're all just, you know me.
Yeah.
Little me trying not to cackle. Because I'm like, what's happening? This kid's seizing. Like, he's making noises. Like, the ambulance is rolling up.
And you're just
after
all
a while,
staring
though.
at
Yeah,
him?
we're all just sitting there, like, quietly as he's seizing. I'm like, okay.
Oh, my God.
Cool.
That reminds me of, there was this, I think I might have told you this story before, but podcast hasn't heard it.
Podcast.
So it was like my 9th grade year, and I was in orchestra, and it was one of the first days of orchestra, right? So we're all sitting, and it's towards the end of class, and this one kid, like in the section like way over here. He was like chewing on something, right? It just kind of like registered in my brain, but it wasn't whatever. And towards the end of class, he like walks out of the room, and he's kind of like a jokester. Like he was kind of like a troublemaker, like whatever kind of guy. He comes back in, and he's going like this, and he's going like this, and I start laughing because I was like
the universal sign for choking. You're like,
no, I was like, because if you knew this kid at all, like I was like,
he's joking,
like he's just messing around.
Yeah,
my teacher sprung into action. Like honestly, deserves like a medal.
Wow.
She ran over like as soon as he came out like and was like this, ran over and just got up behind him and started like doing the Heimlich because he was actually choking. My expression changed so fast. I was like, I like was laughing there. I was like,
oh,
like
yeah,
like,
and
my whole body was cold. Like it was so
Yikes.
scary. Like she did the Heimlich on him, and like it like came out of his mouth, and then like they're both like gasping. She's crying. He's like,
I would have been crying too.
Like
yeah.
whatever. And she was like, I need a minute. She like she walked out, and like he was like, thank you. And
she was traumatized. He's like sick.
Yeah, he was like cool. And she just like she comes back and she's like, you can all go. That took like 12 years off my life. I don't want to be here anymore. Like
yikes.
it was like traumatizing for her. But
yeah, like a child dying and you're almost dying in your class.
And like she had to save him.
And saving a life.
Like that's why everyone should be certified in CPR.
Everyone learns CPR. That's the message of today's podcast. Are you ever
terrified of like when you're eating with people that they're gonna choke and then you can't do anything?
Yeah, no, especially because I am horrible about accidentally making people laugh at the worst times, and so it'll be like I make a joke as they take a bite, and I'm like, rude.
Yeah,
for you to do that at the same time.
Yeah,
in
so
the
like
presence of a comedian, and then they're like, and I'm like, please don't choke because that would. That would just
your
really
joke
ruin
is
the
responsible
vibe.
For someone's choke.
Yeah. My joke, your choke, my guy. You know, your move.
That would suck if someone like died because of your joke.
Yeah, I would feel horrible.
I mean, obviously.
Because I don't know the Heimlich maneuver. You know.
I know the gist.
I know
of
what to do.
But what if I do it wrong? What if I don't get it?
I don't like
right,
the feeling of
know?
like, because you're supposed to. Ew. Yeah. No. I think that would be a lot for me to have to do. I understand why your teacher
Aren't
needed a break.
we supposed to not call it that anymore?
The Heimlich?
I thought like, wasn't there some story about...
He has a scandal?
No, like the guy's family doesn't want it to be called that anymore, but
well, then he shouldn't have invented the maneuver.
Yeah, I don't know.
What we can't Google that either. Are we allowed to call it the Heimlich maneuver? Put the answer right here.
It's like, no. No, you're not. Don't. You're canceled.
I mean, why don't you want your like dad to have the credit?
I don't know.
Does he want the credit?
He'd be dead though.
Yeah, he do be dead.
He do be dead.
He do be dead.
Scooby Dooby dead.
Maybe it's because like anytime the kids walked into a room, people like tried to give them the Heimlich maneuver.
They were like, Heimlich, name. Why don't they just change their last name? It's honestly,
that's what like the Irish
You
did.
can pick anything for your first, last, middle name. You do not have to stay with your birth certificate, and that's what they don't tell you.
That's what they don't tell you. I could change my name right now.
Yeah, because I was always like, okay, what if I don't want to change my name when I get married, right? What if I want to keep my name? Or we just combine them, invent a new name, or we just pick a last name, because like,
or invent a new name, like a new name.
Yeah, like it's never been done before.
Yeah,
I would love that.
That'd be iconic.
Because then the line starts with me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Yeah, it would. So I don't
write that
down. I will. But yeah, you can be you can literally be anyone you want.
You can be anyone. If the talented Mr. Ripley has taught me anything, you can be anyone.
I would like to go to Italy.
I would also like to go to Italy with Jude Law.
Yeah, I was just gonna say with Jude Law.
With Jude
I would love
if he were to take me to a jazz club.
Oh my god. 90s Jude Law, 90s Leo DiCaprio, both of us.
Jazz club.
Prancing around Italy.
Prancing. Jazz club.
Amazing.
And that's
the ideal situation.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, to be in Italy. Okay, well, I feel like it's time to wrap things up.
Yeah, we came back to Italy from the beginning. I think we like talked about that in the beginning.
We love going for full
circle. So that's
circle
our podcast.
Life. If you wanna, comment down below if you want us to talk about anything.
Mm-hmm. If anyone's watching this.
If a single, hey.
If one
You
single person makes it to the end of this podcast,
yeah,
comment something.
and we will give you a prize in the form
we'll shout
of
you out in the next video.
a shout out. Yeah.
Anyone makes it to the end.
Yeah.
We will,
and when
SeatGeek
SeatGeek sponsors, then maybe we'll give you something.
We'll give you $1 if SeatGeek sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, who?
Oh, yeah. Bleep that out. No free clout.
No free clout.
Okay,
All right.
bye.
Bye.